Hello, viewers. Basmati rice wine, number 3. Subtitle: I'm working on it, okay? Usually I brew with chop sal, which is short grain sweet rice. Looks like this. And I've been trying to brew with basmati. It's very long grain, regular, not sweet rice. I've tried this twice, but I've had problems. The first attempt didn't ferment at all, and the second attempt fermented, but it was bitter. So I'm trying again. This is the third time. This time I'm using a different brand of rice. I'm using supermarket Nuruk, which hopefully is less bitter. I'm using less water. I'm brewing in hotter temperatures. It's just a different season now. And I'm doing a shorter fermentation time. So that's what's going to be different in my third attempt. If you like this video, please click that like button and subscribe. And please share this video wherever it is appropriate. I appreciate it. So let's brew. I'm finishing up the last bag of basmati rice, and I have a new bag, a different brand. I'm going to use 667 grams. Why am I using that exact amount? Well, because basmati rice absorbs more water, it swells more, and it has a longer shape, it just takes up more space in the brewing jar. So my normal amount would be a kilogram of rice, but that would overflow my normal jar. So I reduced it to 2/3 of the normal amount, so 667 grams. So wash the rice gently and thoroughly. I always say that. I think I need some more adverbs this time. Wash it patiently and happily as well. It always takes some time to wash, but it's an important part of the process. You'll get in the right frame of mind by patiently washing the rice. And this is going to soak overnight, 12 hours or so. That also helps get it ready for fermentation. So I'm going to cook this rice in the rice cooker. And I'm filling up the water up to the 5 line, even though the amount of rice I used is about 4 1/3 rice cups. Again, basmati rice absorbs more water. And put it in the rice cooker. Let's cook it. It's too hot to use right now. We're going to let it cool down. As we're waiting for it to cool down, I'm going to take this Nuruk, this I bought from H Mart, 90 grams of Nuruk, which is more than necessary because I have less than a kilogram of rice this time, 200 milliliters of water, and a half teaspoon of wine yeast. Stir that up, and we'll wait for the rice to cool. So I can feel it with my hand. It's the right temperature. And I'm going to put it carefully in the jar. This basmati rice is harder to work with than the normal sweet rice. It does go all over the place. And even though I reduced the amount to 2/3 of the normal, it still fills up the jar. Put in the Nuruk mixture and 467 milliliters of water. So why that exact amount? Well, because I added 200 milliliters of water earlier. So in total, I've added 667 milliliters of water. That's equal to the amount of rice. And so this is a 1-to-1 rice-water ratio. And of course, I'm ignoring the water the rice absorbed earlier while I was soaking it. So this is a less wet recipe than my last attempt. Okay, now I'm going to mix this by hand. Again, the jar is just a little too full. It's quite difficult. So maybe next time I would do a half recipe rather than 667 grams. I'd do 500 grams of rice. Okay, so rice flew all over the place. Lost some rice, but it's mixed up. And it feels very dry. The basmati rice absorbs a lot of water. So I'm fermenting this in a dark place as usual, and now in the kitchen it's getting warmer. It's 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. So the next day, I can hear some bubbles. I still see all the grains of rice, and listen to it as I stir it. It's softening. I do notice that it's softening, but then later that same day, you can see that something has really happened. It has turned into a thick paste full of bubbles. So many bubbles trapped in there when I stir it. So it's a lot more liquid now, just 12 hours later. Then on day 2, it's still bubbling. I'm going to do a match test. What that means is I'm going to lower a match into the brewing jar, a lit match. That tells you the state of fermentation. If the match goes out, it's active. If the match stays lit, it means the fermentation is slow or inactive. So let's do that. Lit match, and it clearly goes out as soon as it starts entering the fermentation jar. So that's clear. We have active fermentation. Day 3, still looking uniformly thick. It still is bubbling. Do the match test again. Okay, I had to lower it a little lower than last time, but it goes out. So it still is active. Match test again. Yeah, goes out. Okay, still is active. Day 4. Now day 5. Okay, still see bubbles. Doing the match test again. But this time, okay, so that means the fermentation has slowed down. And I'm going to let go one more day and test it again. Yeah, it really isn't fermenting. So the match tests for the last 2 days tell us loud and clear that fermentation has slowed. So I'm going to bottle today, even though it's only been 6 days. That's less than normal, but I'm going to listen to the match test this time and bottle early. See if that changes the characteristics of this brew. So I boil the filter bag. Okay, the brew smells good. Stir it one last time. Okay, position the filter bag over the top. I'm going to flip it all over. Okay, it all falls out. Okay, that looks good. Okay, nothing is stuck on the bottom. And I'm going to try to squeeze this. And it feels just so much thicker than normal. I really have to force it out, and it's clogging up the filter bag as I'm squeezing it. So I have to sort of scrape it inside, back and forth, back and forth. It still feels very liquid inside. So this is very wet jigami. It's more than 280 grams, but it's so sticky I couldn't get it all out. So just look at the texture of this. This is not the normal consistency after filtering. This is too thick. It even goes more slowly through the funnel. Okay, so this is behaving differently. It smells pretty good, but I'm going to have to see what it tastes like. Okay, so pour this. Again, you can really tell how thick it is. Okay, well, here goes. Is this an improvement from last time? Okay, tasting this now. Smells pretty good. Yeah, that's a pretty normal smell. It is super thick. It's like a paste. So I'm a little worried. That texture, yeah. Yeah, it is pasty. There's a sharp alcohol flavor and bitterness and sort of a rubbery flavor. Yeah, at the beginning you just notice pasty texture and some harsh tasting alcohol. Yeah, and then the aftertaste is just bitter rubber. Okay, so that I'm not sure if this is better than last time. I think I still have some additional thinking to do about how to brew with basmati rice. Still have more to learn here. This didn't do it. It was good that it fermented pretty normally, but then it ended too early. And I'm sure there's an explanation for that, and I think I'll insert that just after this tasting. I'll look some things up and put what I find in the next part of the video. So there's two kinds of starch in rice, amylose and amylopectin. Sweet rice, glutinous rice, is very low amylose, so it's 0 to 2% amylose. Calrose rice and jasmine rice is around 18%, and basmati seems to be 20 or 25%, maybe even 28%, according to some of the things I read. So basmati rice has more amylose than many other kinds of rice. The thing is, amylopectin is digested by enzymes more easily than amylose. It seems like I had a lot of unprocessed starch in my brew, so I'm blaming that on the greater proportion of amylose in the basmati rice. And the result of the extra starch was that it was hard to filter and it had a texture like paste. And another symptom of the problem is that the sediment just did not settle to the bottom. This is just a lot different than my other brews. Take a look at some of my other videos. Look at how the sediment settles in the bottle after fermentation is done. It just takes a few days, and often it settles very, very well. And this is pretty much the worst settling brew. And again, I'm blaming that on just there's a whole bunch of starch in there. It didn't break down properly. So I have to say, basmati brew number 3 was not an improvement over basmati brew number 2. So this was another learning experience. Obviously, there's still a lot to learn about brewing with other varieties of rice. So I'll have to make some further adjustments and learn some more about how to brew with basmati rice before I try this again. Thanks for tuning in to my third attempt at brewing with basmati rice. Thanks for watching.